Here we go. Science alert. Now I'm going to get the worm off the screen because that's really gross. But check this out. This gets even more wild, right? As we know, right, this idea of, well, worm infestation. All right. This has been around a long time. And worms have actually been sort of living inside people as this symbiotic parasite, right? Maybe not symbiotic. I guess that's probably a bad way to put it, but a parasite, full-on parasite. So here we go from Science Alert. Study reveals British history's most worm-infested people. And it's not who you think. Yeah. There you go. Yes, here we go. Check this out. So, determining exactly when and why worm infections fluctuated across time could tell us a thing or two about managing infestations today, a problem that continues to affect the health of nearly a quarter of the world's population. There's quite literally a crapload of evidence detailing the kinds of parasites that crammed into our guts at key moments of history. And this one's talking about checking out British history and where these actual maybe worm infestations happened, where they were most prevalent, all the rest of this. And it's pretty telling about, we've got these nasty things in our guts and in our brains and all kinds of places. So here we go. Thanks to their hardy and easily identifiable eggs, blood-sucking worms of many different kinds and creeds have been traced in the mess left behind in latrines and chamber pots of the old days, right? This conveys the problem on a general population level, but it doesn't tell us much about the prevalence among individuals harboring them. So they're digging deeper here, looking at the demographics of the intestinal worm infections, and the researchers behind the investigation analyzed the remains of 464 humans buried at 17 sites around the UK, all dating from prehistoric to industrial periods. In more than a quarter of the bodies, they uncovered clear signs of nematodes, or the roundworm, yuck, belonging to the genuses Ascaris and Trichuris, and food-transmitted cestodes or flatworms, the Taenia and Diphyllobothrium latum, something like that. Anyway, by far the most common wiggler was the roundworm, the Ascaris. Even today, this parasite is a common form of infection, making itself at home in around 1 billion people's guts and putting the growth and development of young children at risk. So, okay, so they go into, again, I'm sorry to put the worm on the screen again. That's really gross. Try not to do that tonight, not to put too many nasty worms on the screen. But okay. So this is where this starts, all right? So we have this idea of this sort of infestation of these worms that have been in people for almost ever, right? For as long as we can kind of trace this stuff back. And in that sense, do you think that maybe some of these, alien symbiotes of a sort are actually from some other place? And we've got some ideas like what's up, Ronald says, digging deeper into the latrine. And that's totally right? What's up, Ronald? What's up, Sherry? I see you over there on Rockfin. How are you? Okay. So then we have these other ideas of alien symbiotes. We've got Venom, right, from Spider-Man. We've got that going on. Everybody's seen that black goo sort of situation with Spider-Man, and he kind of goes into some alien planet and comes back with like this black goo on him that he kind of can't shake, and it just turns bigger and bigger, and then suddenly kind of morphs into that black Spider-Man costume, right? And I think that's pretty wild in that this is exactly what we're talking about. Maybe not the Venom suit of Spider-Man, but some sort of, maybe alien parasite from some other world. And I don't know. So the question again, back to the question tonight. Do you think it's possible that something like this is already here? And maybe they're not living inside of us, but maybe they're also living in other mammals, or maybe in stasis, kind of in the ice or something, waiting for the permafrost to melt, or us to dig a big hole and let them out. Who knows what's going on here, right? But I got some ideas tonight about what this may be in this alien sense of the word. And there you go. That's what we're talking about tonight. This the alien symbiote. Yeah, there you go. Now we're off the rails, right? So what are your ideas with this? Is it possible that this is already out there and we're just sort of bebopping along, all right? There's the first thing, and we don't even notice they're there. The second thing here, more questions to layer onto this. what if these alien symbiotes, or again, these parasites, alien parasites even, are somehow affecting the way we think, or our demeanor, our behaviors, and things like this, right? And we've talked about this stuff in regard to, other things like, mind control, MK Ultra, stuff like this, maybe more terrestrial means of mind control. But also, what about the idea of maybe the Archons sort of using our own hatred and fear to control us those ways, right? So it's more of a paranormal or metaphysical sense of control, all right? But what if in this idea here, the alien symbiote, if they're here on Earth, they actually can attach to your brain somehow, some way, your brain stem, something, and they can affect the way you think, your mood, your demeanor, your temperament, and maybe even control your mind.